weirdly optimistic today, almost as if a show's gonna first of all happen, second of all be coherent, third of all have a third point. Damn it, I've messed it up already. Screw optimism. Welcome to the Nate Project. Oh hi. Oh wait, no, that's another show. You haven't even heard it yet. It's gonna be great. You have no idea. Hey everybody, it's the Nate Project. I'm Nate, I guess. I mean, I guess that's who I should be for this. Anyway, I'm many people. I'm many people to many people. It's a little redundant, isn't it? I am I'm in a surprisingly good place. This doesn't happen very often for me. Usually I'm fairly dour, holding on by the seat of my pants, not succeeding in any particular way, but not completely failing. I've had a week where I feel like I've had really good progress in things. It's very odd for me because usually there's good, there's bad, and then there's most of it's fairly fair to middling. I don't know what that phrase means. I've heard it before. Sounds like it would be applicable in this situation. I feel most of the time like it's a fairly average week, as most weeks are. That's why they're average. This week was not average. This week was damn near exceptional because I started in the lowest of lows and I ended at the highest of highs. And that doesn't happen for me. I mean, I guess if it happened all the way often, that would be my average week. I would love for that to be my average week. Let me let you know what happened here. Now, two biggest issues that this show has dealt with as far as personal issues for me have been just personal, like work on self issues. This isn't even related to outside, the others, other people. This is just personal things that I need to work on specifically with myself in my self-contained little pocket of the universe. These are the two things. Weight and health. I guess that's two things. Let's call that one thing. Health. Health, no one. Cool. And that's been fine. Fairly stagnant, but I feel like I have decent energy. I may have plateaued a little bit, but not going back up in weight. And I'm feeling better in energy, and I'm a lot more active than I was. So this is all good. So that's status quo. That's staying fine. Great. Second one, as far as working on personally in and of myself, has been a financial situation. Now, we are in crunch time as far as my little family unit is concerned. This is a point where the wife hasn't been working because she's going to be a teacher come fall. She's got the job lined up. She's got the contract signed. She's got work starting in a week or two. She also doesn't get paid until the middle of next month. Holy crap, where are we going to come up with this extra money? I was barely coming up with the money that I was normally coming up with. Now I'm going to need to come up with an extra, like $3,000. Who the hell does that? How does that happen? It's not gonna. Oh, yeah. Also, on top of that, crushing debt. Because I've gotten to a point where I've got the one giant credit card. I only have the one, which is good. It's good not having multiple debtors. I just have one that can come and claim my soul. I act like they're evil. I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that reaped the benefits of racking up that debt. But to the point where it's like, oh, man, we're getting close to that limit. And then it's crunch time, and I need money to make mortgage. I have to come up with extra money to make it. So I have to budget. Really, I'm not good at that. I should be good at it. I'm not stupid. I'm fairly well aware of how numbers work. I understand needs. I understand to have resources and allocating resources to take care of those needs. Unfortunately, I had two very big needs, a credit card bill payment and a mortgage payment due at the same time. And only a certain amount of resources is available to take care of that. This is the first time I've ever really had to weigh my options as far as what to do financially to screw myself the least. Odd situation. Usually I hustle to make do and get by, and I usually do that. This is the first time I really was in a situation where it's like, oh man, I'm gonna F one of these up. Which one's it gonna be? How is it gonna hurt How is it gonna hurt the least to take this? Okay, let's not go with any now. Any analogy I put there, not gonna be good. So I weighed the options. Options one is try to call and make some arrangement with the mortgage, our mortgage lender. I didn't want to do that because that involves the entire household. We have to make some sort of arrangements, and this is my responsibility to come up with this crunch time cash. So I decide to give the credit card company a call. I'm not too far away. My resources aren't stretched that thin that I'm not going to make it, but it's going to be really close, and man, I'm trying to find the leeway. So I call the credit card company and ask them two things. I run two possibilities by them. First one being, hey, you guys have sent me tons of stuff in the past about extending my credit limit, upping it a little bit. It'd be cool to have that little bit of leeway to know that I have a little bit of wiggle room in case something happens or, something happens. So I ask, hey, any possibility of upping that credit limit a little bit? And I can only describe this. The way I was dismissed, it was a no. It was a no. You have to go and watch The Blues Brothers to get the reaction that I got from. If you ever watched the movie, if you've seen this, you're going to know what I'm talking about. There was a point where the Blues Brothers, the good old Blues Brothers boys band, plays the Bob's Country Bunker. It's when they're behind the chicken wire and they sing Rawhide and there's bottles and crab getting thrown at it and whatnot. And they get to the end of the night and they're going to settle up with Bob. And they ask, hey, what about our payment? And Bob's like, hey, well, there's a little matter of those beers you drank. And Elwood chimes in with his wisdom. Well, the lady gave us the first two for free. We assumed the band drank for free. When he says that, because Bob of Bob's Country Bunker could not say this to Jake. Jake was a little too forceful, a little more direct. Elwood was the one that tried to parlay it a little bit. It tried to ease into the situation of, hey, we thought these were free. These aren't free? And Bob, his reaction is, just shakes his head a little. No. That's the reaction I got from the credit card company when I asked about extending the credit limit. So do you think we could up that a little bit there, giant credit card company people? No. So I was screwed right out of the gate because I thought that was the big play. I thought it through, and this was the path of least resistance that was going to get me on to the next week to get me back above board. Plan B, didn't have one, formulated one quickly. Plan B was, well, hey, my payment's due on the 7th. Is there any possibility we could delay that payment 1 week? Instead of the 7th, let's make it the 14th. Hey, that sounds good. I'll get another check-in, and it'll be better, and I'll get a little on top of things. Again, I got Bob's Country Bunker. Hey, can I just a week extension on that? No. Now later, I talked with somebody maybe familiar with the station, Matt, and Matt's suggestion was just don't pay them. In hindsight, that would have been really good, but I've never missed a payment. I've never been late on a payment. So I didn't want to do that, but I didn't know that was an option, man. Just be like, I'll get it to you when I get it to you. Bye, suckers. I got the house already. What are you going to do? Ding my credit too much? I ain't going nowhere. Ha ha ha. Come get me. I didn't know that was an option. Matt's a little more piratey than I am. It's weird considering that I'm not the pirate. The conduit of a pirate. So they caught Bob's Country bunkered me, and they said, no. So I had to find a solution. The solution ended up being I took a vacation day and added it onto my check, but I still worked just as much, and I had a little bit of extra wiggle room, and it was cool, and it made both payments. Both payments were fine, and it really lit a fire under my ass about auctioning off the material possessions that I've been dragging my feet about moving, about getting rid of, about letting go, about putting the work in of listing and answering questions and packing and processing and getting payments and shipping out and stuff. I've been dragging my feet on that, but it lit a fire and got me to really list a lot of stuff the past week. Now this ends the part where the low point of the week was. This leads into the high point of the week. Turns out I'm going to be doing a lot more work at work, which is great. More opportunity for money. Fantastic. Good. I also had those auctions that I put up that closed. They actually closed yesterday. Recording on a Monday night. They closed yesterday. Now, what I was hoping for was to be able to cover my eBay expenses and maybe get $200 out of it. Man, that would have been a nice little boon, a little $200 boost to get us floated until the wife's check started coming in. So this was the goal. I had $160 eBay fees over the past month. The valuation fees, doesn't matter. That's how much I owed. I owed $160. I had to make it at least $160, and hopefully plus another $200. So I'm looking to have my auctions end $360. Man, that'd be great. That would put me in a nice little place, give me a nice little bump. And I watched my auctions throughout the week, and if you've ever sold anything in an auction type situation, you'll notice that the bids trickle in at first, and then it gets towards the end of the week, and all of a sudden they'll spike a little bit. You get a little last minute action going on there, and I just gotta say, I masterfully listed these, and I made sure to space them out enough so that people could get one and get excited about another one and start bidding heavy on that one. Man, I think I finally figured out how to play the game, because I beat my $360 goal by a bit. Did not get $360. Got $1,200. Hot damn. So I went from the beginning of the week being like, oh my God, I don't know which one of these bills I'm not going to be able to pay and squeaking by, to, well, cool, I'm up $1,000. That's awesome. And I've got more coming in the next week. So it's like, damn it. I let this torment me for almost a full week of, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't know what I'm going to do. How am I going to get through this? And I realized I've let money issues have so much control over my happiness, way more than I ever thought was capable. 'Cause I got news. I'm very much into self-preservation. I'm not gonna off myself. Everybody's had thoughts before of, self-harm, or, man, wouldn't it be nice if I was just done with this? Man, I want to be gone. Forget this mess. I wouldn't off myself classically. My way is I'd just walk into the woods and never come back, and then I'd probably be eaten by a bear or something. That's what's gonna happen. I'd be delicious, good for the bear. But there were points in the week where I had this dark times of having these thoughts that I've never really let in before. They've got past the self-preservation. Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe I'm of an age now where I don't have as much, hold on to life no matter how tough. Hold on as tight as you can. Or maybe it's I was really down about the situation, but I really had moments of, man, to hell with everything. Maybe I should just wander off and it'd be a lot better for everyone else. Everyone will be happier. No one will have to worry about it. And I won't have to worry about it if I'm just gone. To hell with everything. I'm not going to do that. But it really, really freaked me out that those thoughts were able to come into my head. very very good my entire life about not letting that level of darkness seep in. And shook me that it did. But I'm on the other side of it now. Hopefully to stay. But man, I really feel like I've got the game down, and I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna be okay. And the smart hard work is gonna pay off, and it's gonna be all right. And I just need to get to that happy place, if you will. Not our silly game show thingy on the Wednesday. They're lovely, by the way. But not them. It gets me to the second thing. That's just my intro. Let me get into the meat of something here. As far as how I'm usually able to keep a relatively positive outlook, even though I'm often a negative person. I've heard it described as the happy bus and the sad bus. 2 buses. Forever on a journey as you march forward through life. You're where you're at, and there's where you're going to be. How are you going to get there? Are you going to get there on the happy bus? Are you going to get there on the sad bus? Which one you want to sit on? You want to sit on the sad bus and be just a sour a-hole the entire ride? Or do you want to get on the happy bus? Just be relatively pleasant. And it really is that simple in many situations. Sometimes you just have to say, oh, man, I'm just being a sour a-hole. I can affect my mood. I can change how I feel. I can change how I interact with other people, the situations around me, and what's going on, and just decide point blank to have a more positive attitude about it, to embrace the good part of it and not give too much of a crap about the bad part of it. And take your seat on the happy bus and let someone else sit over the sad bus. I've also had that feeling that's how it is. It's up to you to decide to be more positive in a situation. But I had an incident recently that I really had the cut and dry situation where I had to make that choice. It wasn't too long back. There was a concert came to town. Actually, a lot of us here at the station went to do it. It was Weezer and Panic at the Disco, and I said the name right. They're a good band. It's one dude in Panic at the Disco, but I became a fan. Great stage show. Really weird. Really enjoyed it. I like the stuff now. I like his stuff now. I guess I still got to say their because technically it's a band. I don't know, man. Sounds like dudes like royal we in us, and I don't like that. I don't like anybody to royal we me. We me? Doesn't matter. So we're at the concert, and we're leaving the concert. I'm there with the wife, and it's not very often we have a night out because a kid and a lot of stresses and whatnot, and we're both fairly tight about money. It's not one of our thing to do something extravagant, like go off to a concert. So this was like a birthday present for me, but I knew it was kind of a present for us together, and it's something we could go do together, and we don't do enough stuff together, and it's going to be great. We're going to go to this concert. And her friend goes to, I don't know her, I don't even talk to her the whole time. That's probably a dick move, but I'm socially phobic. She seemed fine with it. Those two talked, and I got to not talk to people. And that's all I want to do is not talk to people. Except you now. I'll talk to you now. Because you're not talking back. You're just an inanimate camera looking at me soullessly with your one mana eye. You got one eye and you're looking back at me. So we're at this concert and wrapping up at the end of the night and walking out. And honestly, I'm very proud of humanity in general in this situation. Fairly orderly leaving. A lot of people oh, no, you go ahead. And we're all getting out of there together in a decent, orderly fashion. And in front of me and my wife, there's a rather inebriated individual. He's stumbling and bumbling around, falling into the bamboo. And I see this, and he's in front of us. Now, we are all leaving in a calm, orderly fashion, moving at a not a healthy gait, but a steady gait. The entirety of humanity, this massive humanity, moving in one unit, except for this one asshole in front of me who's stumbling forward and bumping people and acting like he's falling backwards. He's not like drunk enough to be stumbling and falling, but he's drunk enough to act like he's stumbling and falling. This is a much worse individual. This is a much worse situation to be in. If they're drunk enough that they're falling over, dude, they're falling over. What can you do? Dude's about to pass out. Let's pick him up and get him out of here. Not a big deal. Happens. This is a guy that's like, oh, look how drunk I am. I'm so effed up. Woo! This is a significantly worse individual because he's being belligerently, he's having fun belligerently at my expense. Belligerently having fun. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. That makes sense. He thinks he's having a ball. His friends are all like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. I'm sorry. Now he's doing something much worse than just stumbling around, bumbling, and acting like he's going to fall into people. He's screwing up the flow of humanity. We're all trying to get to the parking lot because that's going to be a whole nother massive, well, it's not humanity, massive automobility, cars and stuff. That's going to be a whole nother thing. Also very orderly. Very proud of humanity. Humanity did good that night. I'm giving all the credit to Weezer. Panic helped. They helped. They were there. I think Weezer made everything a better place. But this guy is messing up the flow by doing his little forward and backwards. And I'm thinking, as I'm watching this, it's like, oh, this is that a-hole in traffic that speeds up and slams on the brakes. Speeds up and slams on the brakes. Speeds up and slams on the brakes. There's many of them out there. Don't be that guy. Just find a flow. Try not to ride your brakes. Try to keep a steady speed as best you can. And all of a sudden, traffic starts disappearing. It's amazing, isn't it? But this is the guy that runs up, hits his brakes, and stops. And he's messing up my gate because I'm directly behind him. And then something happens where he's being a little too gregarious in his drunkardness. And his friend has got this look of, like, I see the furrowed brow. Not the furrow, like, I'm going to F you up, buddy. Hey, watch it, mister. Not that furrow. That's a different furrow. This is the furrow of, oh, God, I'm sorry, everybody, that this friend of mine that I'm responsible for? Why am I responsible for this guy? He's responsible for this guy. He's taking it upon himself, and he feels bad about it. And I don't want this guy to feel bad about it because he's doing the right thing by making sure this idiot gets home without hurting himself or others. He's going to drive. Drunky guy's not going to drive. Drunky guy stumbles forward, and then he takes his stutter step backwards, and he bumps into me. Rather forcefully, too. Not like hard. I mean, it's not like he turned around and gave me a shoulder in the chest or anything. He didn't throw a punch. You know, he just kind of fell like shoulder blades first, so it's a nice flush hit. And I got my hands up a little bit just to kind of give like a, oh, hey, man. In this moment, I had a choice. Happy bus or sad bus? In this case, it was happy bus or I'm going to murder this man bus. In this moment, I look over for counsel from my wife. As if to say, Amy, something may be happening here. I'm not sure what. I don't know which direction I'm going to take. Have you any input for me? Perhaps some insight, guidance, if you will. The only thing I really got back from her was, well, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. Come on. Now, she didn't say that, but I definitely got that vibe of, I'm not gonna make your decision for you, but this seems like one of those situations where you might have to lay a dude out. I'm not a fighter. I don't want to fight. I don't need to fight. But the instinct was definitely there. Again, dark thoughts have been pervading my mind lately. I think, well, this dude is drunk. If I give him just a firm shove, I can throw him into those bushes. His friend will have to fish him out. But I'll be on my way, and I'll feel like, yeah, he got what's coming to him. Or I could grab him and throw him to the ground. Stomp him in the face. Also, that would probably have been very, very satisfying, because in the moment, it was a little output. I was a little put out by the bumping. The incident, as I'm going to call it. That sounds a lot worse than the bumping, because the dude just bumped me. I decided to not take the I'm going to murder this guy bus. And in the moment, as I'm making eye contact with the wife, I let her know in a look, I'm not gonna hurt this guy. And I kind of catch the guy, and something comes out of me that I'm not used to having come out of me. I think I behaved like a human, and I just said, "Oh, hey, man, you all right? You have a good time? Jeez, man, you okay?" That was it. I just kind of like, and he gave me a, "Oh, man, I'm sorry, I'm so wait," and he's playing it up. He wasn't that goddamn drunk, but he was acting it. He was being an ass in front of his friends. His friends gave me a look like, "Please don't kill him." My wife gave me a look, "Please don't kill him." And I didn't kill him. And you know what happened in that moment? I didn't get the satisfying feeling of throwing a man into the bushes, or throwing him to the ground, or stomping face, or the fun part of talking to the authorities thereafter. No, I just kind of sloughed it off a little bit, and I didn't let me weigh me down. I didn't let it dictate the rest of my evening, because the rest of the evening would have been talking with the police, getting banned from the whatever the name of the amphitheater is now, Verizon Home Wireless Home Veterans Association Loans United something or other amphitheater, whatever the name is now. I wouldn't have been allowed to go back. I would have talked to authorities. This guy would have sued. I was minding my own business. And of course, the next day he'd be back to whatever lawyer guy or whatever high-end job that denotes he has some sort of legal representation that's there to take me down. No, slough it off and just, "Hey, man, hey, you all right?" And he was all right. And I was all right. And I realized I made the decision that put me on the happy bus, and my night was significantly better. Had I taken the other one, I would have not only had a mess of a night for myself, definitely ruined the night for that guy. His friend, who's just trying to be responsible, would have had to have dealt with it as well, taking his friend to get at least first aid, if not hospital. A wife would have had to talk to authorities or wait for me to be released under my own recognizance or whatever. And it was just a beautiful thing in that moment of clarity of just saying, "Hey, I could have done something really bad, and I did." And we're all of us, better as a result. And it gave me a good, putting that in relief in that such simple of a situation, made me realize that, hey, you know what, that's very applicable to many, many things we do. So if you get the chance, it's hard to do it in the moment, but if you get the chance and you're able to think about it, even only for a split second, you've got your choice. You got your happy bus. Is that how you're going to get there? Or are you going to get on the sad, I need to murder that guy, unhappy, angry bus? Happy bus is pretty cool. There's singing and dancing. There's free drinks. Sad bus has like chain link fence over the window, and it's going to take you somewhere and drop you at a holding facility, which is a nice way to say jail. But, I digress. Get on the happy bus for a little while. Now, let's get into another thing that I think is a somewhat related issue. I'm going to go ahead and skip this middle bit here. Get back to that maybe next week. I wish I was stupid. Yeah. Believe me, that makes sense. If you think about it smartly, you'll wish you were stupid too. This is something I go through probably a bit, mostly with, again, personality of the station here, with Matt. Whose responsibility is it to filter opinions? I think all that often, especially in the age of social media, we find ourselves just bereft with other people's opinions on everything, because everybody's got an opinion except me. I don't. If you look at my social media things, you don't see me posting a lot of stuff. You know why? Because I'm not really that passionate about things. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe that's a good thing. But I don't force opinions on other people. I'm not that passionate about stuff that doesn't really matter to me or really to anybody. But the vast majority of people are happy to put their feelings right in front of you, disagree with you vehemently to your face, down talk your opinion, and really just foist themselves upon you. They just I don't want to say opinion rape. That sounds terrible. Opinion badness. They put their opinion badness upon you. And we often take it as our responsibility to filter through that and deal with it and process it and see what it means and synthesize it into our own opinions and validate ourselves through other people's words. And you know what, man? Don't take that responsibility on yourself. You've got enough responsibilities in the world to deal with yourself, your family, your friends, your feelings, in your just day-to-day existence. Existence is hard. Why are you letting other people's existence dictate your day? Don't let it be your responsibility to filter their shitty opinions. Let them say what they're going to say, because everybody does. But the more you pay attention to it, the more you think about it, the more you let it rack your brain and infest your thoughts, the more validity you're giving to it, the more value, the more power you're giving to it. Why would you do that? Especially if it's something you disagree with. Even if it's something you agree with. Slough it off, man. Don't let it go. Again, that gets back to this happy bus, sad bus. You're sitting on the sad bus going, oh, man, they think this, they think this, they think that, they think this, they think that. How do they feel about this? Who gives a good goddamn? You know what? If you go over to the happy bus, you realize, cool, they have an opinion. I have a half of an opinion on that. Maybe I'll listen to their opinion, let it affect my opinion a little bit. But no, at the end of the day, your opinion is your opinion, and they can't take that from you. They can't impart theirs into yours. They can't infect yours. Have enough belief in yourself, confidence in yourself, and confidence enough in your opinions or lack thereof that you don't let them dictate what you're going to think and especially how you're going to feel about what you think. You don't need to validate yourself to other people. If you say, hey, man, I feel this, and somebody else comes along and says, well, why? And that can be your answer. I don't know. I don't need to validate myself to you. That's what I feel. You don't feel that way? Cool. I don't care. You don't feel that way. That's great for you. I mean, I think it's bad for you, but what's that matter to you? That's my opinion. Realize that your opinion is really the only important opinion to you. Unless, of course, relationship, and then you got to take it into consideration a little bit. But man, don't let other people dictate the validity of your thoughts, your opinions, your feelings. You don't need validation, and you don't need to let them invalidate you. Pick that happy bus for a little while. So I'll get that into that next week about the stupid. I really think we're far too smart and far too dumb all at the same time. It's really weird. Okay, I'm going to talk about my little homework for next week. Again, I'm going to continue along with the health and fitness stuff, I guess. Just stay active. Don't eat crap. Don't drink Crystal Pepsi. I had to drink a Crystal Pepsi earlier this evening for the show. It was for the show. I didn't want to. I still didn't want to. And it's actually like burning my throat a little bit now. But I think that just made me talking for 4 hours. That seems to do it, too. I'm going to go ahead and blame the Crystal Pepsi, though. It's my opinion. You can't change it. Ha, ha, ha. So, the point... Don't you go drinking water over there. I see you over there. I'm going to drink a Diet Mountain Dew, because it's not Crystal Pepsi. I'm going to take a sip. Hold on. No. So good. Stop drinking it in slow motion. It's annoying me. I love it, but it's annoying me. But I love that it annoys me. So crazy. Stay on the health and fitness, keep the auctions going, and man, if I just keep at it, I'm going to do good. I'm going to make it. You're going to make it too. Make it another week. I'll come back next week. I swear, man. I swear. Okay? Look, I know it's been a rough couple weeks, okay? It's been a rough couple weeks because everybody's tired. So maybe I didn't have a whole lot to say, but this was important tonight. And I'll come back next week, and I'll update you again. And then I'll come back the next week, and I'll update you again. And I hope you're doing good, too. And if you're doing good, man, reach out to me. On Twitter, I'm at The Nate Project. If I don't respond back, that doesn't mean I didn't see it, because I absolutely see everything that's posted to me, even when it's weird cam girl bots. I definitely check those out and go and look at the profile pictures and be like, oh, no, I don't even think that's real. Pretty sure that's a computer-generated human type thing. But I always see the responses. I always appreciate it. I love it when people reach out, even though I'm horribly crippled and unable to reach back sometimes. I'll try. Keep reaching out, and I'll keep trying to reach back out to you. At the Nate Project on Twitter, and this is Radio Free Radio, RadioFradio.com. If you're listening online right now, you already know that because you're there. But if you dig what we're doing here, you like us at all, if you want us to continue, and we're going to continue just mostly out of spite some nights, really. But you want to help keep the lights on, you want to keep the Crystal Pepsi a-flowing, Patreon.com/Radio Free Radio. $1 gets you several things. Access to our entire back catalog of stuff, keeps you current. Stuff posted on the Patreon and emails straight out to you immediately as soon as it's posted, which is not just that night. It's almost damn near when the show's wrapped. It goes up there. It'll come straight to you. And also you get our undying affection and love. It's got to be worth something, right? Like, $1. Can you get love for $1 elsewhere? If you can, let me know. Yeah. All right, man. Hit the music. I'm going to go home. Oh, God. We got other things we got to do yet. They're never going to let me leave. They're going to keep me captive here until next week. Stop yelling. This is my show, goddammit. It's the Nate Project. The Matt Project's going to be the daily video thingy. That's going to be great. I got you a logo and everything. It's just your face. It's your face on a shield. I'm actually going to hit you in the face with a shield. Hey, Matt, sad bus or happy bus? Which one are you going to get on? He's going to get on the sad bus. See, this is a bad example. It's terrible. All right, everybody. Okay. I think I got to sign off. I got to sign off now. Here we go. You ready? Hey. Okay. Bye.